The Kaka is the largest subgroup of Mongol people in Mongolia since the 15th century. The Kaka, together with Chahars, Ordos and Tumed, were directly ruled by Borjigin Khans until the 20th century, unlike the Oirats, who were ruled by Dzungar nobles, or the Khorchins, who were ruled by Kashar's descendants. The two original major Kaka groups were ruled by the direct male line descendants of Dayan Khan.The Baarin, Khongirad, Jaruud, Baigut, and the Oirats became Dayan Khan's fifth son Achibolod's subjects, thus formed the Southern Five Halhs. The Khiruge, Chahars, Khongirad, Khorchins, Basut, Borjigin, Ghoul, Uriankai, Sartul, Tanghut, Khitogoid, Khiruge, and Sukor became Dayan Khan's youngest son Jaruud's subjects, thus formed the 13 Kakas of the far north. There were also numerous direct descendants of Genghis Khan who had formed the ruling class of the Khalkha Mongols prior to the 20th century, but they were and still also regarded as Khalkha Mongols rather than belonging to a special unit. The 13 Kakas of the far north are the major sub-ethnic group of the independent state of Mongolia. They number 1,610,400 of Mongolia's population. The Kaka dialect is the standard written language of Mongolia. Etymology. The term has always puzzled linguists and historians. One possible interpretation is that it shares the same root with the words ex, shield, and ex, to protect, to cover, to shield, to hide, to intercept, etc., although there is no noun or verb ex that independently exists besides the ethnic group's name. In the similar manner, the sub-ethnic groups within the Kaka unit have been historically recorded in books, journals, and documents as Jalar Kaka, Sartul Kaka, Tanghut Kaka, etc. Even the word order in the phrases Southern 5 Kaka and Northern 13 Kaka implies that the word correlates to the units within the Southern and Northern tribal federations, but it does not stand for the entire group as a whole. Lastly, Mongolians have always linked the term to the name of the Khakan Ghoul. History. Dayan Khan created Kaka Tumen out of Mongols residing in the territory of present-day Central Mongolia and northern part of Inner Mongolia. In Mongolian historical sources such as Erdeniani it clearly stated how Kaka Tumen was created and where these people resided at the time of its creation. The statement goes as follows. Transliteration. Hangai Kannanut Uglan Suuj Hari Days and Chinu Kaka Bolson Haluan Amine Chinu Tashi Bolson. Iri Hyan Uzaror Harihan Harul Bolson Kaka Tumen Chinu Bucky Biraja Musarilik. English translation. Dwelling in the Hangai Mountains. A shield against alien enemies, a support for your precious life, a blade towards those who come, a guard towards those who look. Your Kaka Tumen is indeed for you. It is also believed that southern Kaka people who now reside in Inner Mongolia were moved to south from its original territory Hangai Mountains, to commemorate and signify its origin. Every new year during White In Month moon celebration all southern Kakas perform special Hangai mountain worshipping ceremonies and they face northwest and pray. This special ceremony is maintained by only southern Kakas and no other southern Mongols have such rituals. Under Dayan Khan, the Kaka were organized as one of 3 Tumen of the left wing. Dayan Khan installed the 5th son Achibolod and the 11th son Jaruud on the Kaka. The former became the founder of the 5 Hal of southern Mongolia and the latter became the founder of the 7 Hal of the northern Mongolia. They were called Inner Kaka and Outer Kaka respectively by the Mankas. Mongolian chronicles called Jaruud as Kongtaji of the Jali. which indicates that the core part of the Kaka were descendants of the Jalaiya tribe. By extension, some scholars consider that the Hal had a close connection with the 5 Ulus of the left wing of the former Yuan dynasty, which was led by the 5 powerful tribes of Jalaiya, Khongirad, Chahars, Jaruud and Manghud. The 5 Hal consisted of 5 tribes called Dayan, Baarin, Khongirad, Baigut and Borjigin. They lived around the Shiramoran Valley east of the Greater Khingan. They clashed with but were eventually conquered by the rising Manchus. The 5 Kaka except for the Dayan and Baarin were organized into the 8 banners. Note that Kaka left banner of Jaruud League and Kaka right banner of Ulanchab League were offshoots of the 7 Kaka. The 7 Kaka were involved in regular fights against the Oirats in the west. Jarasinge's descendants formed the houses of Tashid Khan, Sizat Khan and Setsen Khan. They preserved their independence until they had to seek help from the Kangxi emperor of the Manchu Qing dynasty against the Dzungar leader Ghoul in 1688. In 1725 the Yongzheng emperor gave Searing independence from the house of Tashid Khan, forming the house of Sain-no-Yon Khan. The Kaka led the Mongolian independence movement in the 20th century. After enduring countless hardships, they established the independent state of Mongolia in northern Mongolia. Kaka diaspora. The overwhelming majority of Kaka Mongols now reside in the modern state of Mongolia. However, there are 4 small banners in China, 2 in Inner Mongolia, 1 in Qinghai, and 1 in Jaruud. There are also several groups among the Baiguts in Russia. However, they no longer retain the Kaka self-identity, culture, and language. The Hal Mongols in Qinghai, China and the ones among the Baiguts in Russia were subjects to Kaka's Sogdu Khan and his sons. The Chotu Kongtages Kakas, poet, supporter of Ligdan Khan, and opponent of the Dalai Lama's Yellow Hat Order, Sogdu Kongtaji moved to Qinghai with his subjects sometime after 1624. Ligdan Khan and Sogdu Kongtaji were supposed to meet in Qinghai and eventually build a Mongol base that is independent of the Manchu rule, which was geographically far from the Manchu emperor's reach. Moreover, it was clear to the 2 Mongol Khans that Tibetan Dalai Lama's influence in Mongol affairs was increasing, so the 2 decided to end the influence of Dalai Lama and the Yellow Hat Order by supporting the Red Hat Order. However, majority of Ligdan Khan's subjects and soldiers died because of smallpox on the way to Qinghai. After Ligdan's death, Sogdu Taiji began attacking Dge Lugzpa monasteries. When Sogdu sent 10,000 men under his son Arslan against the Dalai Lama in Lhasa, Arslan switched sides and supported the Dalai Lama. The Dge Lugzpa hierarch, the 5th Dalai Lama, summoned the Oirat Gushi Khan Toro Baiku, whose 50,000 men in early 1637 crushed Sogdu's 30,000 Tulan Koshu. Sogdu Taiji was killed. Today the Oirats of Gushi Khan is also known as the Upper Mongols, and they still reside in Qinghai, forming 21 banners. The remnants of Sogdu Kongtaiji's HalHS form only 1 banner and are known as the Lower Mongols, or Sogdu Kongtaiji is known as Sogdu Khan among the Kaka Mongols in Qinghai. The Kaka right-wing banner. This banner was popularly known as the Darkan Bailey banner, and the ruler of this banner was the descendant of Ghurson's Jalaiya Khan's grandson, Bunidari. In 1653 they migrated into Inner Mongolia from the Tashid Khan Amak of Outer Mongolia. The Kaka East Wing banner. This banner was popularly known as the Chokor Hal, and the ruler of this banner was the descendant of Gombo Ilden, the 5th-generation grandson to Ghurson's Jalaiya Khan. They fled from the Zasakdu Khan Amak of Outer Mongolia to Inner Mongolia in 1664. Its boundaries as given by the Mongol pastures run 125 by 230 li, or about 41 by 76 miles. The Tango Kaka banner. This banner, formerly subordinated for administrative purposes to the East Wing Tumed banner, is popularly known as Tango Kaka. This tiny territory, of not more than 12 by 15 miles, is said to have a population of about 500 people. There are practically no Chinese, as the surrounding districts are held by Mongols. The tribe, which has a prince of its own, was founded by immigrants from the Dzungar Khan division of Outer Mongolia, who fled to Inner Mongolia and offered submission to the Manchus in 1662. During the wars between the northern and western Mongols, loss of Kaka territory to Imperial Russia and Bairitized Kakas. During the rise of Genghis Khan in the 12th to 13th centuries, neither the Salinch Valley in today's southern Buryatia or the Aga steppe had at this time any connection with the Bairyats. These were the lands of the Murka tribe and the Mongol tribe proper. Starting 1628 with the Russian conquest and Bairyat migration, the Salinch Valley, as before, was inhabited by Mongol clans under the rule of the Kaka Khans. By 1652 the Kaka Khans were protesting the Russian incursions into Transbaikalia, and from 1666 on Kaka raiding parties reached as far as Bratisk, Ilimsk, Yerevansk, and Nerchinsk, while the Khans besieged the forts on the Salinch. At the same time, however, the Khoris along the Uda River in 1647 surrendered as a block to the Russians to escape paying tribute to the Kakas. Smaller Mongol clan fragments also defected north to the protection of Cossack forts. The invasion of Kaka by Guldan Boshotu Khan in 1688 stopped Kaka resistance to the Cossack advance and sent more Mongol refugees fleeing into Russian control. Finally, the Salinch Mongols, cut off by the new border from the Kaka kinsmen and mixed with displaced Bairyats and Khori, gradually accepted the Russian designation as Bairyat. These groups are descendants of Okantai Katagin, Artagan Achibolod, Sartul, Tavnamud, Yungzibu, Ozid, Uuld, Songul. The Songul subclans are as follows: 1. Uryankid, 2. Bolingad, 3. Barthud, 4. Achibolod, 5. Avgatud, 6. Shanud, 7. Nomkaud, 8. Kamnigan, 9. Ashirantan, 10. Khorchid, 11. Namantan, 12. Yunshubu, 13. Kogoid, 14. Eljajd, 15. Orlud, 16. Tavnamud, 17. Orongoi, 18. Sukor, 19. Sartul, 20. Sharad, 21. Temdegden, Mongolian academician, writer, and scholar Byamban Renchen is a representative of this ethnic group. His father belonged to the Yungshibu tribe and his mother was a direct descendant of Genghis Khan through Kaka's Sogtu Khan.